It's super. This is a little different. I've the gameplay is not there for once, and that's because I wanted to make a different kind of video today, a more opinionized, serious video, something I usually don't do. But I've written about this topic a couple times on blogs I've had, but I feel like I should talk about this, is basically the point I'm trying to get at. So let me preface this by saying I'm not perfect. I've done things online that I'm not happy about, especially in FFXIV. But the FFXIV community, especially the casual section of it, is toxic. Recently, we've had streamers get death threats. We've had streamers flip out on people for in-game slapping them. It's not something we should be doing. It's very, I feel like it's destructive. It's something that I think we honestly shit on a lot of games communities for doing, and then we claim to be better. And it feels really hypocritical to me. Scott Zone got death threats from people for just not enjoying Eden as much as he thought he would, and Fahros just straight up put someone on blast for in-game slapping him twice and then banned him from his stream. Cool, dude. Could have just said I'm sorry and then let him go. It feels like in the community, mediocrity or not performing up to what you're supposed to be is something to be either A, tolerated, or B, celebrated, which I don't think anybody can get behind. I think it's something that holds us back. It's a reason why the devs keep having to dumb down content for people because they can't do it. I've known people that have literally said they aren't going to run the content until next patch because it's too hard. And it's normal content. It's not EX. It's not Savage. It's normal. This kind of celebration of mediocrity is overall hurtful to everybody, because then you get people who will just kick you from your party if you aren't performing as well, and then you'll try to report them, and then nothing will happen because those people were in the right to kick you because you weren't performing at your best. It also works in the other direction. If you get people who say are majority of them are these kind of people who think you should just play however you want, and then you get one guy in there who's performing to the best of his ability, he's doing everything he can, and then he tries to offer advice to the party, and then the whole party just cusses him out or just straight up kicks him, which has happened to me before. The WoW refugees that we've been getting lately should be welcomed. I'm not saying we should welcome the kind of attitude WoW promoted. A lot of the WoW community was toxic at one point. I don't know if it's like that now. I used to play. But I don't think that antagonizing people coming from WoW is the answer to keeping toxicity out of our community. On top of that, it's already too late if we're doing that. That means we are toxic. We're the toxic ones. I would also attribute this to the division of subreddits that this community has quite often. The main subreddit is heavily moderated to a point where memes aren't allowed, and dissenting opinions are either removed entirely or downvoted. I'm not saying the mods aren't doing their job. They're free to run the sub however they want, but I see it all the time. There's also the issue of the subreddits being sectioned off into their own little corners. There's a fanart subreddit, which never gets used. There's a shitposting subreddit that gets used a lot by people who are dissatisfied with the community. There's even a new one for just sharing screenshots from your duty finder runs where people just aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, and the kind of situations that I've been talking about seem to arise. I would argue at this point that Final Fantasy XIV is not any less toxic than any MMO. We do have nicer people. I will admit that we are very good at welcoming people into the community, but I would also argue that because of the kind of players we keep, we are very good at hiding that toxicity and keeping it kept away from what you would expect. This also goes back to the moderation of the subreddits. The main sub is moderated very, very heavily, and you will never see a toxic post on there. I guarantee you. I just wanted to, again, say that I'm not perfect, but I would also say that a lot of this community is not perfect, and we have a lot of things we need to work on. That's all I wanted to say. Please ignore the giant sun that's forming in my room. That's just my bottled up rage from playing in the PF lately. I'll see you guys later.